Hi, everyone. It is now October 20, 2019. I want to pass along information. I will link below to everything. So if you want to find out more than what I'm going to be saying, click on the link below, read the article, Southern California back on fire watch as dangerous winds return. That's right. Okay, Santa Barbara County may have power outages. They said the winds are going to kick up tonight into Sunday. And the watch, this fire watch, does not end until Sunday night. I guess they know the winds are going to stop their performance. They'll stop Sunday night. But they want to keep you safe, so Southern California Edison may shut off the power to 56,000 customers. Yes, Santa Barbara County. And there was another fire, Gov't, and it was called the Real Fire. Started Thursday, burned 420 acres, and is now 50% contained. They believe that they are going to have 100% containment by Monday. Oh, it was the so-called sundowner winds. The sundowner winds, which are similar to the Santa Ana winds. But the sundowner winds, well, they fueled the Thomas Fire that burned 281,000 acres in 2017. So the potentially damaging winds forecast for LA County mountains, Santa Clarita Valley, and the Santa Monica Mountains bring brief periods of critical fire weather. The strongest winds were expected to hit overnight Saturday into Sunday. Yes, Edison may be shutting off power to 56,000 customers. So that Gov't fire was in Santa Barbara County. Evacuations, forced evacuations that were brought on Thursday but lifted Thursday night. And closure of 101 freeway. When you close these freeways in California, you create a tremendous amount of hardship. And that's the point. Oh, it's not about bringing you safety, making sure you're safe, preventing wildfires. It is about getting you used to third world living, and to cause a whole lot of disruption, inconvenience, hardship, and economic damage. These blackouts cost billions. The PG&E CEO, the new one, said this, which is really remarkable. Said on Friday at the California Public Utilities Commission hearing. Yes, he said, which it's stunning. It could take as long as 10 years for the company to improve its electric system, enough to significantly diminish the need to pull the plug on customers to reduce the risk of sparking fires. Now, PG&E has been increasing your rates. What have they done with that money? They were supposed to be maintaining their power lines. Now, I don't recall the name of the company in Florida that actually, they increased rates, but they used that money, billions, to take their power lines and put them underground. So, to prevent power outages during hurricanes. Wow, why can't PG&E do that? No, they're just going to keep pulling the plug on you because there's a very insidious, sinister plan that, well, they're not disclosing, but a whole lot of people have disclosed. We are being brought down, and they are using every little trick in the book to do it. Verizon apparently had outages across the country today, or yesterday. People couldn't use their phones. They weren't getting any calls. Okay, this occurred Midwest and Northeast predominantly. That's where it was concentrated. What's going on? Why? Do you think they're turning off the power? Because that's what I think. So, locations such as Montana and Pennsylvania reported problems with their connections on Friday morning via social media. Not able to make or receive calls in Lewis Run, Pennsylvania. Extremely frustrating. Yeah, get used to having no security with anything. Are your phones going to work? Your power going to go out? You had rain in Sonoma County, and your roads were slick, and there were dozens of car accidents. But the rain, there was no flash flooding. There was no flooding. In fact, this article says that the rain was hardly even measurable. Like, there wasn't. So what's making the roads so slick? Could they be spraying something to make it slick? And, well, the rain brings that something down a whole lot faster onto the roads. We've seen it with snowfalls. We've seen it with rain. So, something's very different in terms of weather. And, well, roads that are wet weren't slick before, but now they seem to be increasingly so. Wind gusts caused power outages across southern Idaho. And trees came down on cars, houses, roads, blew trampolines, trash cans away. Power outages affected Shoshan, Gooding, parts of Twin Falls, south of Burley, due to these down power lines. In Shoshan, I don't know. Nearly 3 miles of power lines toppled over. Okay, well, it's clear that power companies are not doing what they need to do. Or could these gusts of winds be so powerful that it doesn't matter what they would do, they would come down anyway? When man is controlling weather and they have scalar technology, they can create wicked winds. And that's what they've been doing. Just this past year, 2019, we have seen weather like we've never seen it before. All of the flash flooding, all of the flooding, central United States, tornadoes that, well, they call them tornadoes, but what the pattern of a tornado is missing these incredible wind gusts. What has happened? Oh, it's climate change, global warming that's bringing about incredibly strong winds that come out of nowhere and then die down quickly all over the country with so many weather fronts. Really? Hurricane winds all over the country from just, what they now call this extreme weather. Is it really climate change, or is something else happening? NOAA has predicted dry, warm winter for California. When I see this, and I see more power outages, and I see, drought-like conditions coming back to California, I think more fires are coming to California. So yes, federal climate experts said that it was going to be warmer and drier than usual in California this winter. Drought-like conditions were expected in some regions across the country, including Central California. Expecting wide swings. NOAA swings. They're expecting wide swings in temperature and rainfall through February. And they stressed nothing, nothing was certain. Oh, thank you. Well, that was good to waste my time reading it. NOAA said that even during a warmer than average winter, periods of cold temperatures and snowfall were expected too. Oh, okay. So, waste of time. Nothing is certain. But the swings in temperature, today it was 55, rained all day. Yeah, that tropical storm. Tomorrow is supposed to be 78. These swings in temperature have been happening here in, upstate South Carolina. And that is affecting the health of an awful lot of people, including all life. So here you can look at your winter outlook 2019-2020, what to expect in Michigan, but also other areas of the country. And this is NOAA's Climate Prediction Center coming out of their center. Oh yeah, warmer than average temperatures are forecast for much of the U.S. this winter. But they also say, well, it's possible that we're not predicting this right. Essentially, that's what they're saying. Unbelievable. So, excuse me. So even though NOAA does not project any areas of below normal temperatures, this does not mean that periodic Arctic blasts can't happen. It just means that when you average 3 months of temperatures from December through February, you could have warmer temperatures in December and February, but it could be really cold in January. So when you average all of that out, you're going to have above normal temperatures. Oh, okay. Well, they go into a lot of crap here. And I think they do it just to confuse the hell out of people. They talk about the El Nino Southern Oscillation climate pattern, which often influences the weather. Neutral conditions are in place this year. Well, so no El Nino or La Nina. Well, then they have to look at the Madden-Julian Oscillation and Arctic Oscillation. They'll likely play a larger role in determining winter weather. For example, the Arctic Oscillation influences the number of Arctic air masses that intrude into the U.S., but its predictability is limited to a couple of weeks. Oh, okay, so there are other circulation patterns that I track, such as the North Atlantic Oscillation, that also come into play. Okay, well, that's great. So I think they do this because a lot of people will just say, I don't know what the hell they're talking about, but this is a meteorologist, and they do, so they can make these predictions. But isn't it interesting that they can't forecast 24 hours ahead now? Or 42, 48, 72, 60. They can't forecast right at all lately. The nor'easter was not a nor'easter. The tropical storm was not a tropical storm. So what are they doing here? They're just giving you a whole lot of information to confuse the hell out of everyone. And they just, well, I'm just going to go with the official narrative. So it's going to be warmer than usual this winter. But it's also going to be wetter than average in Alaska and Hawaii, along with portions of the northern plains, upper Mississippi Valley, the Great Lakes, and parts of the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Well, wow, that's going to be a lot of the country. Drier than average conditions, Louisiana, parts of Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas. Oklahoma, as well as northern and central California. The remainder of the U.S. falls into the category of equal chances for below, near, or above average precipitation. All right. Well, there you go. So, plan accordingly, I guess. What is this? Government radar was down during a big storm. I guess they're no longer calling it a nor'easter. Government radar down when they've been dramatically reporting that 60 million people were a threat. It was the nor'easter. Government radar down for maintenance. They didn't think, hey, let's delay the maintenance and we'll do it next week. Well, maybe it's a little more complicated with Doppler radar. I don't know. Oh, but what did they do? Radar on a truck. I have on my playlist, on my channel, Never Lose Truth, a playlist which starts with 5G, Wi-Fi. I have videos of what radar does to life, the frequencies coming out of Doppler radar. And it affects us emotionally. It affects us physically, mentally. They can use it for mind control. They can use it to make us feel sick. They can use it to make us feel really depressed, angry, irritated. They use it for surveillance. But now, when Doppler radar, as we've known it, is down for maintenance, they have it on a truck. On a truck. Which means that the frequencies are closer to you. And those frequencies in the millimeter range, Doppler radar on a truck, millimeter waves can be used for surveillance, and it's real close to the ground. Let's listen.
Right now, giving us this exclusive mobile Doppler radar. As the storm moved out, this provided us with critical weather updates, especially at the height of the storm. And giving us this exclusive mobile Doppler radar. As the storm moved out, this provided us with critical weather updates, especially at the height of the storm. And that is when the radar that the National Weather Service uses was actually down.
That's right. Matt Noyes explains why Storm Ranger kept working even as we moved it to different locations to get the most precise view of conditions.
Chances are good you've heard plenty about our Storm Ranger mobile Doppler radar truck from our First Alert weather team. What makes the truck so special? How does it improve all of our lives? Never have the answers been so apparent than during this intense rain and windstorm of the last 2 days. Radar is a key tool for meteorologists in identifying where showers and storms are developing, in what direction they're moving, and if any damaging wind is inside. This storm hit at a bad time, though. The Boston area government radar is down for 4 days of maintenance, leaving public and private meteorologists across the Boston area struggling to gain accuracy and pinpoint showers, rain, and thunderstorms, except your First Alert weather team. We deployed our Storm Ranger mobile radar to Cape Cod ahead of the first rain, allowing our meteorologists to track downpours and damaging wind throughout our powerful nor'easter. We moved it over the next 24 hours to 2 other locations until the storm was gone. With Storm Ranger mobile Doppler radar able to see 70 to 100 miles from wherever we park it, what this means for you is our First Alert weather team are literally the only meteorologists anywhere during this stretch who can show residents of eastern and central Massachusetts exactly where it's raining, how hard it's raining, and when it will stop in your town.
Storm Ranger, always so helpful.
Wow. So, Doppler radar on a truck. Okay. Abacco. Some feel abandoned by government. I have been forgetting to thank subscribers for passing along information, and I apologize for that. But I want to now just interject a thank you to those subscribers who've sent along some of this information that is in this video. Some feel abandoned by government. Look, security is over, and weather is being used as a weapon. Power outages are used as a weapon. All of this is to bring down countries so that, the elite can reshape the world into their own fancy, their pleasure, and make all of us slaves. And that is happening. So Mark Roberts, 57, man of war K, Abacco, said yesterday he feels abandoned by the government in the wake of the destruction caused by Hurricane Dorian. We are trying to survive, but the government has abandoned us. From day one, after the hurricane, there were 25 yachts in Florida ready to bring stuff. They were told that they had to bring it to NEMA or pay duty fees. The only way the people of this K are surviving is because of these good-hearted people. If we haven't been abandoned, I don't know what to call it. We live day to day. We're survivors. It's the only way. As of Wednesday, the government has resumed charging duty to send items like food and water to hurricane-impacted islands. Unbelievable. My God. What are the two essentials you need to live? Nobody has money, nobody has work. It's been 7 weeks and there's nowhere to get any money if you have it, because there's no banks open. How do they expect the poor people or any person to get by? There's one class of people in Abacco now. It's not the rich, not the lower class, just one class, the survivor class. Governments are not there to help you, to keep you safe. They're there to destroy you. And that is what is happening all over the world. I run my generator for people to drink, to bathe, and to basically live, which costs them about $35 a day in gas. Of course, there should be no red tape for individuals or organizations that genuinely want to assist those on the island. So why are they doing this? Because they don't want to help you. They want to make it very hard. They want people to die. Yeah, depopulation is, in fact, happening. It's been rough. It's not easy to be wiping off every day and scraping to find food to eat. I haven't really seen the government do anything so far. I heard they want to do things, but I haven't seen it happen. Right now, I'm mentally tired. I'm really tired, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle every day. And you know what? There's an awful lot of Americans feeling that as well. So, let's see. Internet companies leave customers in the dark on storm-related outages. This was in Maine. The power outages from the nor'easter left about 500,000 without power in Massachusetts and Maine, but they also didn't have the internet. And unlike power utilities, Central Maine Power and EMRA Maine, the internet service providers, Spectrum, Consolidated Communications, they don't offer any details about any information about what is going on. Why? Well, if they don't have to, they won't. And the customer, remember that motto, the customer is always right? Oh, that's gone. That's gone. Now you're to be abused and neglected. But you're going to pay a whole lot for services coming from a company that will abuse and neglect you. Airplane contrails. This was back in July. Do they add to climate change? Yes. And the problem is about to get worse. And what What's that first paragraph? Oh, despite conspiracy theories about so-called chemtrails, there's no evidence that the white plumes... Oh, that's bullshit. Nah, bullshit. Where's that button? Bullshit. Okay. Lots of evidence that they are spraying chemicals, but let's go on. It's not part of a secret government program to spray toxic chemicals into the atmosphere. All right. That's what they lead with. So the contrails. Why do they contribute to climate change? Because they trap the heat that radiates upward from Earth's surface. And this is a new study published in the journal Atmospheric Chemistry and Physics, which suggests global warming effect will triple by 2015 as air travel grows in popularity. Air travel grows in popularity. That sounds like the plane was just discovered. Well, it's been around for a long time. So why is air travel going to be growing in popularity when more and more people around the country don't have money for a vacation? In fact, air travel is declining. So another lie. Given the forecast for the increase in air traffic, which is very large, this contrail effect will increase even more than the carbon dioxide impact. Because they don't want you traveling. They do not want you traveling. That's why they're doing this. Because, think about it, David Keith, Harvard, the geoengineering projects to, well, curb global warming. Well, the atmospheric spraying will have the same effect as what they're claiming contrails do. It traps the heat that radiates upward from the Earth's surface. So why are they doing geoengineering, these experiments to lessen global warming when it actually does trap the heat? Okay, this entire article is just one big lie. They want you out of the planes. They don't want you traveling. And, yeah, well, the masses, they're so easy to fool. They're so easy. It's a contrail. It just looks different than the contrails that used to dissipate very, very quickly. Okay, why does it look different? Oh my God, I'm just not even going to talk to you because you're just, what, you're a conspiracy theorist? You think that they're spraying the sky with all these toxic chemicals to kill us. Have you noticed that a whole lot of people are sick? And yeah, more people are dying than being born. All right. Greta Thunberg meets First Nations chief. The chief of Northern Alberta First Nation says he gave climate activist Greta Thunberg a message during a quietly arranged meeting in Fort McMurray, where you had a wildfire due to directed energy weapons. He told the 16-year-old Swede that Europeans are major investors in the area's oil sands, and she needs to get people to lobby these investors for greener technology to extract Alberta energy. I guess Greta is no longer going to go to school. She wants to go to school, but, well, I guess she only has 12 more years, so she's got to do a lot of, well, hopping from country to country and seeing chiefs and presidents and heads of, unions, European and United Nations. And, well, listen to the 16-year-old. Oh, Greta, by the way, I want to remind you. And I say remind you? Yeah, because weather is being modified. Weather on demand, making it rain, is now a global business. Welcome to the strange world of cloud seeding. Well, that's one method of modifying the weather. But yes, getting married, And that wedding day, you want to make sure you have sun, you got a lot of bucks, call the weather makers. So we have commercial companies that modify the weather, and this is mainstream media telling the world it's a global business now. Weather on demand. Is something wrong here? You know? Okay. Oh, God. God controls the weather. Man can't control the weather. How about Bloomberg telling you about weather on demand? You know what? I just don't want to be your friend anymore. I'm going to go inside and I'm going to watch TV. And you go away. Because you are a nutcase. Are you off your meds? You're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, okay. Yeah, we do have a problem with an awful lot of people. So here, just a few minutes of, well, I'm going to play the whole thing. It's 1 minute and 47 seconds.
Come to this piece.
Whoa. Jesus, I can't stand the volume on all of these things, and they're like driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. Here we go. Ready?
Come to this piece that someone sent to me. I thought I'd share it with you. It's called Growing Up. Few commentaries on this global warming hoax have had greater relevance than this. I think I might send it to Al Gore. And it says this: to all the school kids going on strike for climate change, you're the first generation who've required air conditioning in every classroom. You want TV in every room, and your classes are all computerised. You spend all day and night on electronic devices. More than ever, you don't walk or ride bikes to school, but you arrive in caravans of private cars that choke suburban roads and worsen rush hour traffic. You're the biggest consumers of manufactured goods ever, and update perfectly good, expensive luxury items to stay trendy. Your entertainment comes from electric devices. Furthermore, the people driving your protests are the same people who insist on artificially inflating the population growth through immigration, which increases the need for energy, manufacturing and transport. The more people we have, the more forest and bushland we clear. The more of the environment that's destroyed. How about this? Tell your teachers to switch off the aircon. Walk or ride to school. Switch off your devices and read a book. Make a sandwich instead of buying manufactured fast food. No, none of this will happen. Because, the piece says, you're selfish, badly educated, virtue-signalling little turds, inspired by the adults around you who crave a feeling of having a noble cause while they indulge themselves in Western luxury and unprecedented quality of life. The piece ends by saying, wake up, grow up and shut up until you're sure of the facts before protesting.
Alrighty. Well,
Come to this.
that was pretty blunt, but it's true. All right. Here. UN climate chief has solution to urgent climate threat. We require deep transformations of our economies and societies. This coming from United Nations climate chief Patricia Espinosa. This reality is telling us that we need to do much more. The impacts of climate change are increasingly hard to ignore. She was joined by former UN Climate Summit presidents. Yes, we require deep transformations of our economies and societies, and it's going to happen fast. What does that mean? Every aspect of your life will change. Get ready, because 2020 is going to prove one hell of a year. Now, thousands of tractors shut down highways in farmers' anti-green madness protest. Yes. Thousands of farmers shut down highways in a go-slow protest converging on the Dutch capital as they protested being victimized by a government trying to meet European Union emissions laws by cracking down on agriculture. Those deep transformations in society, in our economies, it's going to pull all of us down. All of us down. So, yeah. They took off in their tractors. But the police and the military knew. So they put up barricades. But they're on tractors. So they found ways around it. And they got into the Capitol. Take away fossil fuels. You can't drive these tractors. It will destroy most companies, farming, all over the world. Great plan, huh? Especially when it is based on a lie. That lie. So, Norwegians told to pee in the shower to save water. Canadian government says anyone giving birth to live humans. Well, what else are you giving birth to? Sorry, okay. Is a threat to the planet, promotes abortion and infertility. Yeah, the New York Times, 2018, December 2018. Would human extinction be a tragedy? Our species possesses inherent value, but we are devastating the earth and causing unimaginable animal suffering. Oh, we or corporations? Corporations. How about that fabulous, Agra Corp? The animal, well, yeah, all right. Everybody's calling for humans to be gone. Science magazine celebrates mass slaughter of human beings, refuses to say it was evil. So this is a writer for Science magazine who did a cover story for Science magazine, Lizzie Wade. She stated that she's proud to be able to share the news about a recent discovery of the skeletal remains of thousands of people who were sacrificed by the ancient Aztec Empire, located in what is now Mexico City. Wade is attempting to make the case that human sacrifice is hardly horrific or loaded with evil. We need to discuss it. Wade, well, that mass murder of human beings, it's just another expression of human culture. Cultures all over the world practice human sacrifice, and the Western cultures, well, it's just a cultural, thing, mass murder. Really? All right. I will link below to everything. Get used to. Well, a lot of us are used to having our lives, destroyed, but you guys, get used to the power outages. Get used to your phone. Verizon, suddenly these outages, Charter, and all the big corporations. Get used to the extreme weather events, because we ain't seen nothing yet as far as I'm concerned. The fires, they're coming to you out in California. Get used to deep transformations in every aspect of your life. None of this is going to get stopped. Not when people actually believe, a 16-year-old, or believe, they just won't, they can't get into their mind that man is controlling the weather. Even when we have commercial companies, weather on demand. So when we have a population that can't think, then we're screwed. All of us are screwed. Okay, all links are below. Stay safe, everybody.